Am I asking you to
Mm-hmm.
stop senseless consumerism? Try it.
Am I asking you to stop senseless consumerism?
Yes.
Yes.
What
And
direction is
yes,
that
it
going?
go up.
State goes up and down.
It
Yeah.
goes up and down. So again.
Because otherwise it would sound like this. Am I asking you to stop senseless consumerism? Yes. And then it sounds like a question.
Yeah, different.
Yeah. Am I asking you to stop senseless consumerism? Yes.
Now it sounds like a statement. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Yes. If we voluntarily decrease our consumption, go ahead.
If we voluntarily decrease our consumption,
What's happening on consumption?
the intonation goes up.
And
Consumption.
back down. Up
So
and down.
again, up and down.
Unless you're making a list, unless it's a yes, no question. I mean, if it's in the middle of a sentence like this, if it's in the middle of a sentence like this, the focus word goes up and then down.
And if it's the end of the chunk, it goes up and down.
The end, it goes down at the end unless it's the focus word goes up and down unless it's a part of a list. Like if I say, you know, I'm going to bring apples, bananas, pineapples, and bananas. So up, down, up, down. But in this case, it's not a list. It's just up and down on the focus word. If we voluntarily decrease our consumption.
So if we voluntarily decrease our consumption.
A little higher on
consumption. If we voluntarily decrease our consumption.
Yes, we can experience more of what we have.
We can experience more of what we have.
Our environment has suffered enough.
Our environment has suffered enough.
Let's finally think about the world we live in.
Let's finally think about the world we live in.
The world we live in. Just put just two spaces in between the world and we. It doesn't have to be long. Just the world we live in. Again, because it's relating back to this idea of the environment and the headline of what you're talking about, right? You're coming back to the point here. My call to you.
My call to you.
Make your notes so you don't forget. It goes up here. It doesn't, you know.
It goes up.
Stop consuming. Now, when you say stop consuming, it's a command. You're telling me what to do. Do you think it should go up at the end?
Up and down.
Up and down. And let's together think about our planet. You have to pause after together or make it a separate chunk.
So stop consuming. Stop consuming. And let's together think about our planet.
Yeah, but don't let the word planet fall off like in a quiet whisper.
Planet.
Right?
So
yeah.
Planet.
And let's together.
And let's together think about our planet.
Think about our planet. Now, let me tell you what happens at the very end of the thought of the whole speech. When we get to the end of the last focus word, we don't use as much melody. So listen to the two ways I'm going to do it. First, I'm going to do it with more melody, and then I'll do it again where I'm really finished and you know I'm finished. Listen. And let's together think about our planet. One. Here's the second. Let's together think about our planet. Think about our planet. Our planet. So you see how I'm just bringing it to a close.
So you make it sound like it's an end of your. And let's together think about our planet.
Yes.
Think about our planet.
And it doesn't have to keep going down, it could stay flat. And together, let's think about our planet.
And let's together think about our planet.
Yeah. As long as you keep the breath support and the word, and let's together think about our planet.
And let's together think about our planet.
Right. It's just a way to show people vocally that you're finishing.
So last focus word is less, is how to explain, how I'm trying to understand what to write as a comment.
Basically, we call it pacing. Okay, so when we get to the end, we slow down, and when we slow down, we don't always use a lot of melody. Okay, you slow down and you keep the melody flat. You keep the melody low. I don't have to say flat, but low. It's like this. When we give presentations and we have slides, when the first slide comes up, we're using a lot of energy and our voice is high, and we talk about the planet and the environment. And then when we get to the end, we start to slow down and bring the melody down. Then we change the slide. The next slide comes up, our energy's high, our voice is high, we're using intonation. We talk about the environment, we say what we want to say until we get to the end and we start to slow down and bring the melody down. And then we bring the next slide up. And
yeah, the next slide and okay. Okay, got it.
Awesome. This is fantastic. I want you to read the whole thing one last time.
Okay. Now I'd like to talk to you about our environment. How many of you in this meeting think this is important? Let me see a show of hands. Think about your home or your garage. Is there a bunch of unnecessary junk? What do you do to ensure a sustainable environment? Ask yourself about the things you keep collecting.
Remember to make your pauses a little longer, okay? Because they're not long
collecting. Ask yourself about the things you keep collecting. Prioritize them. Get rid of unnecessary things. Am I asking you to stop senseless consumerism? Yes. If we voluntarily decrease our consumption, we can experience more of what we have. Our environment has suffered enough. Let's finally think about the world we live in. Michael, to you, stop consuming and let's together think about our planet.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, there's two things that I'll tell you you can do to take it one step further. Make sure that the pauses are longer. And number two, make sure some of the phrases are faster. So, because there's a lot of short phrases, sometimes you can start to get into a rhythm or a flow that is the same. And when you do that, you create a pattern, right, of the same that can put someone into a lullaby, right, asleep. So you want to get some speed. I would say, for example, let me just read the whole thing for you, okay? And then you can start to analyze it for homework.
Yeah, I'd watch it.
Now, I'd like to talk to you about our environment. How many of you in this meeting think this is important? Let me see a show of hands. Think about your home or your garage. Is there a bunch of unnecessary junk? What do you do to ensure a sustainable environment? Ask yourself about the things you keep collecting. Prioritize them. Get rid of unnecessary things. Am I asking you to stop senseless consumerism? Yes. If we voluntarily decrease our consumption, we can experience more of what we have. Our environment has suffered enough. Let's finally think about the world we live in. My call to you, stop consuming and let's together think about our planet.
Thank you.
Yeah, try to notice the places that I get that speed, even if you just look at how many of you in this meeting, how many of you in, how many of you in?
How many of you in? Okay.
That's it. I think if you can really nail what I just did, do you know that expression, to nail something?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you can really nail what I just did, then you're going to master the variation of the speed and the variation of the pause. Okay, so what you've done here is so complete. You thought through the reductions, you thought through the types of words that matter, you thought through the pauses, you really thought through. Now this next step will be to master it. So do that for homework.